The price of Ethereum has surpassed $4,000 for the first time since December of 2024. In this video, I want to talk to you about my Ethereum price targets, why I am super bullish on Ethereum. We will go through multiple different charts, look at the technicals, and also cover the fundamentals and on-chain data too. So stay tuned until the end. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We will cover a few more altcoins apart from Ethereum in this video too. And we're going to do this because the Bitcoin dominance is capitulating almost to below 60%. I tweeted about this morning. It's finally happening. We're seeing the Bitcoin dominance capitulation, and we will get into a couple of altcoins that I am planning on increasing my long positions on. Before we jump into the video, guys and girls, if you use the first link in the description down below to sign up to Weeks, you're going to get a completely free $1,000 worth of an Ethereum trade, which you can go ahead and use to trade Ethereum. And whatever money you make from trading Ethereum, we will talk about potential trading targets, you can keep all of that money to yourself, completely withdrawable. All you have to do is sign up to Weeks using this link. I will put the tutorial video on how to claim the super easy bonus. All you have to do is create an account, no KYC, no deposit required. You just need to link your phone number to your account and download the Weeks app and sign into it with your newly created account. That is it. I will link the tutorial video. You have to sign up using the first link in the description down below. Do not miss out on this. It's an incredible bonus. So what is happening to Ethereum? Well, Bitcoin, first of all, is back over 117,261. So that's helping the altcoin market see that increase to the upside. Ethereum is now over $4,000 officially. If you don't remember, we spoke about Ethereum seeing a bit of a correction and then continuing to the upside. That's exactly what Ethereum has done. You can see that we posted this on that weekly candle. We saw the correction. We came to this line of resistance at the 3.4, and now we're seeing the bounce to the upside. It's going to be more clear if I show it to you on the daily time frame, but we came exactly to that line of resistance, and now we're seeing the bounce, which is fantastic. So congratulations to everybody that longed Ethereum over on Weeks. We've been buying Ethereum since 1.5 to 1.6 publicly on this channel. So congratulations to everybody that managed to long Ethereum with us over on Weeks, which you can create your account using the first link in the description down below. But what is next for Ethereum? Can we now continue into our targets of 5.7 all the way to $8,000, which is where I think the price of Ethereum will go by the end of altcoin season, potentially even higher? Well, I got to tell you one thing, and that thing specifically is when you go to the daily time frame, you're going to notice that Ethereum is actually going into massive resistance right now. So I wouldn't be going 100x long positions into Ethereum at this moment in time, because I need to be completely honest with you. This is phenomenal resistance for Ethereum. We've come to $4,000 multiple times in Ethereum's daily price history, and it completely faked us out. So I have to tell you that this is very critical resistance. I think it's completely normal if we get one more rejection or at least a consolidation before breaking to the upside. Today's a Friday, so the actual breakout could happen next week or the week after. So don't be afraid if we see one more correction or if we see a little bit of a consolidation before breaking to the upside. I would be careful here because it is tremendous resistance for Ethereum's price action. However, I also believe that this is the time that we're actually going to try and break above it successfully, and we're not going to give us PTSD like Ethereum has been doing so since March of 2024. I think this is the time where we will actually break above this $4,000 territory, whether it's this week, more likely next week, and the weeks to come by the end of September, because we've done a very similar pattern. If you go back to the bullish pennant on the monthly time frame, Ethereum has done this bullish pennant before in 2021. You saw the same fractal. You're repeating it. You're seeing the exact same thing that's happened on the RSI take place in this month and in July, the month before us. We have the exact same bullish setup from a technical perspective for the price of Ethereum. And I think that this bullish setup will take us into those price targets we mentioned of $5.7 to $8,000. We can go into a little bit of detail into why we're saying those targets, but if you want to find a full detailed analysis video on Ethereum, I would highly recommend going to the Benjamin Cohen interview that I did with Benjamin Cohen himself not so long ago. It was 3 months ago, but we did an entire segment on Ethereum, And this was a very good explanation into why we think that all the way up to $8,000 is possible for Ethereum's price action. I'll put a card at the top right hand corner for you to watch after you're done with this analysis video. So I do believe that yes, $8,000 is on the table, but a very conservative target can be calculated when we get out of the logarithmic scale, measure the height of this pennant, and put it above the breakout zone. That will give you $7,000 conservatively, in my opinion. Guys, we don't even have the Fed cutting rates at the moment. We're not even in altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance is still at 60%. So this is just the beginning for Ethereum, I think. And if you want to open positions, if you want to be long in Ethereum, you don't have to risk your own money to be doing that. Obviously, right now, tremendous resistance. It is dangerous. We do want to see a breakout above $4,000 with at least 2 or 3 daily candles before we can confirm that Ethereum's resistance is completely now out of the window and blue skies are ahead. I think now is a dangerous time, but if you want to be longing without your own money, using weeks' money, you can do so with the first link in the description down below. The second link will show you how you can claim this easy free position, which you can go ahead and use to trade Ethereum with. So technical-wise, I think Ethereum is looking fantastic. If we look at the Benjamin Cohen analysis that the legend himself shared not too long ago, he thinks that we are going to break out. This is an important retest to resistance, but there's no such thing as a quadruple top. You've never seen that before, and he also thinks that Ethereum will eventually break out sooner rather than later, and we're not going to see a major correction, and that this will be the time that Ethereum breaches $4,000 successfully. When we look into the on-chain data, I'll go into Dogecoin and a few other altcoins very shortly, but on-chain data shows that so many companies are buying up Ethereum. In fact, the Treasury company plus ETF companies or ETF issuers, the amount of Ethereum they have purchased has now come to almost a 5% of the total supply of Ethereum itself, which is insane. So look at this. Daily flow is 60,000 Ethereum. That's the total amount of new Ethereum that is issued into the supply. That's what it looks like. And the percentage of supply that these entities have purchased overall is 4.79% of the entire Ethereum circulating supply. And most of this purchasing has happened only within the past 1.5 months. You can see it right over here. Most of the purchasing has happened over June and July, and this will continue to accelerate. And the more Ethereum they add to their balance sheets, the more the price of Ethereum goes further to the upside. When you go to the daily transactions, you can see that Ethereum transactions have reached a brand new high, surpassing 2021 peak during the NFT season as stablecoins and ETH treasuries continue to grow. Stablecoins will be a much bigger topic. They will be adopted everywhere across the world, and the #1 chain that stablecoins are currently operating on is Ethereum. And people will be forced to have Ethereum in their wallets to be able to pay for gas fees. So it's an incredible incentive to be actually buying the underlying layer 1 token, which is the Ethereum coin itself. Then you have the RWA narrative too. And things like tokenized stocks and equities, they're all mostly going to be on Ethereum with Ondo and Chainlink. They are the major tokenizers, and they are built on Ethereum. They're layer 2s of Ethereum. So there's so much happening. There's staking. There's liquid staking with Lido. Obviously, that got the green light from the SEC not so long back. Just so many great things happening on Ethereum. Also the tokenization, we spoke about that, but just so many cool things, and I'm really, really excited for the future of Ethereum. Obviously, the president himself, actually not himself, but his crypto company, World Liberty Financial, alongside his sons, Don Jr. and Eric Trump, they're all very bullish on Ethereum. They have Ethereum through WL5. They've been recently buying Ethereum and adding it to their portfolio over the past few months, a lot of it. You have Sharplink Gaming, one of the ETH treasury companies, buying a bunch of Ethereum. Like there's just so much happening. The point of which we are in the cycle is also the phase where capital is transferred from Bitcoin to Ethereum and then to large altcoins. So I think it's ETH season, and soon we will see massive altcoin season. Before we end off this video, which other altcoins am I bullish on? I'm obviously very, very bullish on Dogecoin, so we can quickly have a look at Dogecoin. You can see we're seeing the absolute exact retest to this downward sloping trend line, as we saw back in October of last year. So we saw the retest, and then boom, that was the moment of explosion for Dogecoin, where we went up 350% to the upside. I still think that a very similar thing could be happening to Dogecoin now. And I think $1 is very achievable in this cycle. So I'm really, really looking forward to buying more and more and more Dogecoin. I also really like Solana. You have a huge cup and handle pattern on the weekly time frame. My target for Solana is $500 at the end of the cycle. And I think now is also a good time to be longing Solana. These altcoins need to treat it more carefully and really, really calculate your leverage wisely and risk manage wisely. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. Please, please, please risk manage in the best way possible, because altcoins are not like Bitcoin. They're much riskier. So yeah, just make sure you're doing your risk management correctly. But overall, long term, I think Solana will do amazing. And I think it has a very nice target at $500 for the end of altcoin season. Binance Coin is breaking out. We saw the retest to the resistance of the inverse head and shoulder. I think that's also a phenomenal one. And for Binance Coin, my target is $1,250. And as an entry point, I think right now, since we confirmed the retest, that's also a very nice one to be considering to going long. And if you want to go long, you can use the first link in the description for weeks, as you can also get a free $1,000 Ethereum trade when you sign up with the first link in the description down below. Let's do one more altcoin before calling it a day. The final one that I will mention is obviously Chainlink. Chainlink is getting its own Chainlink reserve. It's in fact even implemented, and Chainlink is going to be one of those RWA projects that tokenizes the most and really brings in equities and all of finance on chain. So Chainlink is another great one. You have a W formation. You saw the retest to its neckline, and now you're seeing the rocket back to the upside. I think Chainlink is really an amazing one to be considering opening long positions on. I can't speak, I'm out of breath. But apart from that, we will cover more and more altcoins over on today's Moon Show, which will happen in 30 minutes time. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next video very soon. Take care, guys. And as always, bye, 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 bye.